Very nice. It started 7 minutes ago. I'm sorry we're a little late. Nah. Yeah, I had to get my makeup done.
Oh, that's what it was.
It was.
Couldn't remember.
Is it actually not coming in? It's not showing up.
Sometimes it usually takes a while to come through.
Yeah. We might have like a 40-minute delay on this then.
I'm streaming it to EQ Nexus.
Yep.
And it says you were mentioned in Geekdomo's channel. This is not Geekdomo's channel, is it? No, I'm on EQ Nexus.
Yeah, I haven't seen it come up yet.
It's not coming up.
What a dick. Give it some silence. I've heard that works remarkably well.
Alright, okay, I'll stop it and start it again. Oh wait, now it says EQ Nexus is now streaming. EverQuest next.
Woo.
So it said that I just got the notification. And it's still not here. We got one viewer.
Woo. Popular episode.
No, it's just that why is it saying offline? There it goes.
There we go.
Jeez, that was a huge amount of lag. Alright, hello everybody. Sorry about that. We started about 2 minutes ago and it just wasn't showing up. So that's weird. Yeah. Okay, welcome. Give me a second and we'll start the show. No, we didn't realize nobody was seeing it for 7 minutes. We just started about 2 minutes ago.
Which, if you take into account the multiplicative of cross-referential dimensionality because of that little dimensional portal thing down over there, then it actually is like a 40-minute delay.
Oh yeah. Actually, we are actually streaming now before we actually streamed.
We actually have accidentally gone back in time. The Civil War is going on right outside my blanket here.
That's a blanket of force field blanket.
Yeah, it's to keep Abraham Lincoln out of California. I don't know why I suddenly sound like I'm from Fargo, North Dakota.
Because it's really cold up there, and you're honoring the sacrifice they're making by living in the Great White North.
That's probably what it is. Oh yeah.
Okay, well let's get started. It's that time again for EQ Nexus Presents Into the Portal, an EverQuest Next podcast. Yeah, it's a more simplified intro.
Very.
Yeah, so what ends up what's going on tonight, everybody, is Locke is not here. The reason for that is Tobran found that if you eat 1 million Jaffa cakes, you can start growing a beard, and you get Locke's position on the show.
Yep.
And that's a very sexy beard he's got there, lunch.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, look, he's already eating Jaffa cakes. How many Jaffa cakes did you prepare tonight there, Tobran?
I've got 10.
10 packages?
No, 10.
10 Jaffa cakes? We're going to be through Jaffas in like a moment.
Yeah, but this time, whenever someone says Jaffa, I'm not eating.
Oh,
that's the new rule.
So it's kind of.
So what's the trigger word? What makes it go?
There's nothing that makes it go.
He's just going to eat them when he wants to.
Yeah. The more interesting thing is the beverage he's drinking. Why don't you tell us about that a little bit?
Okay. For those who are not Scottish, which is like 99% of you,
most of us,
this is called Iron Brew. It is a drink you can only get in Scotland. It's amazing. That is
Does
all
it
you need to
contain
know.
iron?
Apparently, it's brewed through iron girders, so I guess so.
And since somebody mentioned how filthy my water looks, it's actually just the bottle it's like 2 years old. The plastic is a very
degraded.
Yeah, and there's like algae growing in the bottom now.
I would think about getting a new Aquafina bottle. Not that it costs more than $1.
I've been thinking about it for
10 years.
No, about a week. Because I've been using this bottle for 2 years, so I can't have been thinking about it that long.
Yeah, it looks like something out of Waterworld.
It just reminds me of my fish tank. So
it does. It's got that nice funk going on inside of it.
Yeah, it's really nice, tasty.
So Chaos Lord asks, which one of us is the warlock using the summoning portal? That is actually the portal from EverQuest Next. So that's why it's down there. And we had we have room here for 6 people now, but Locke's not here. Fu killed him, and he's getting an operation to have his testicles put into his ears.
She can't be a Black Widow if they're not married yet.
Well, that's true. Excellent. All right, so we have a ton of stuff.
Just jumping the gun. I warned her. Sorry, go on.
Hey, Sergeant Stockhouse has showed up tonight. And we also have Pentapod in the audience. Pentapod.
Woo.
Thank you for coming, Miss Domino. We are... Who else is in the...
Any other
Morguard's in the audience, too?
Ooh.
Jeez.
All right, so we got lots of cool peoples tonight. So, why can you be a no-beard going bastardette? Oh, I missed that. Okay. Anyway, let's get on with the show. First topic we're going to talk about, the roundtable stuff. So they just came out with the latest roundtable response video, and that was talking about
building styles.
Yeah, building styles, and not like anything amazingly random or we thought something. Everybody who is playing EverQuest Next Landmark wants to build stuff that looks like it belongs in EverQuest Next. So, what's your thought?
Yeah, it's kind of what I was thinking about with it is that the poll wasn't necessarily to see, what everybody was going to build, but almost more to emphasize, look, there's things other than fantasy to build, like get your mindsets out of fantasy. And I kind of feel like that the video kind of talked about that a little bit, but then the other thing that was really important was the focus on props. That's the thing to really be getting in the devs' ears about is what kind of props. And by props, they mean things that you're not going to be able to make with voxels like sails and curtains and
coffee cards.
Yeah, and stuff like that. And parts for like futuristic looking weapons that you can put together and make like modular looking guns and stuff. That sort of stuff is more what they're looking for right now. And
which
they're
is what
saying,
we've talked about all along, is that the
Yeah.
voxels are basically what's on the land and what you can build things out of. And if you want to make a spoon, you have to use a prop, because you can't take a voxel and make it this small and this detailed when the voxels only go down to 1 by 1 by 1. So, yeah, if you want laser guns, spoons, that kind of stuff, they have to be made as a prop. And I think the props, if I'm not mistaken, will probably be available in the store. I think they're going to be a purchasable item. You'll probably get some to start with, but I think you'll be able to buy prop packs at some point. That's what I'm guessing.
Just everyone suggesting things to maybe have as props.
Yeah.
It's quite hilarious.
Oh, yeah, we got the Death Star. That's a good prop. But I think you could pretty much build the Death Star out of voxels.
Yeah, you would build the Death Star out of voxels. The props would be more like maybe some of the rails and some of the panels and more intricacy.
There are no rails.
Oh, yeah, that's right. There are no rails.
There are no rails. No. Oh, sorry about the question thing. Yes, if I'm sorry. Boy, I'm just like not with it tonight. I literally got home about 5 minutes before we were supposed to start, and I was like rushing around trying to do everything. So my brain is like all jittery. Questions. So if you have a question for us, or we can relay it to the devs who are in the audience right now, just put the question in brackets. Just write question like Chaos Lord just did there, and we'll see the question. We have Meika, who's our moderator. She's going to grab them up and stick them into our chat window over here, and there we go.
With the building styles thing, I found myself thinking, you could so easily get past. I mean, yes, a lot of people, the apparent majority of people were like, I want to build in this, EQ Next style, which is fine. When I was working on Tiger Woods 07 back in 2006, we had the facial, you could create your custom face for your golfer and whatnot. And we had one guy who was responsible for testing all that. He's like, I don't know what to do anymore. And I said, give me $1. And he's like, what? I said, give me $1. And so he handed me $1 bill, and I held it out to him. I said, make George Washington. And he was like, oh, and then he just starts making all the presidents on all the bills. And he's like, okay, I don't have any more money. I said, make the Simpsons. Just start making people. And he couldn't figure out how to test it the way he wanted to until he was issued a challenge. I mean, this is my point. So
yeah, this is what they were asking us.
With the building style, I mean, I would, if I were in their position, once alpha is available and people are playing around with it, I would be like, Giger. Give me a Giger building or landscape.
God, that'd be awesome.
Make people, give them a challenge to work on. You do this, you do this, you do this, you do this. And that'll make people kind of open the box of their brain and start thinking outside of it.
I was thinking about like doing the Hobbiton, and I was watching. We went and saw the Hobbit over the holidays, and the whole time that they kept going the flashbacks into the house, and I'm like, wonder how I would do that archway there, and all that kind of stuff. So, somebody else is okay. Is lag? Okay, I'm sorry, it's checking up. Everyone's saying it's lagging. Okay, sorry about that.
It's okay. They'll get to it eventually.
Yes. Just refresh. There's something going on with Twitch tonight. We started, and there was like 2 or 3 minutes before it actually showed up. Yeah. All right. So, what props would you guys like to see?
Well, a Jaffa Cake prop for a start.
Jaffa Cake prop would be nice.
It just sounds like a band.
But the Jaffa Cake prop?
Yeah, it's just a band name.
That'd be an amazing band.
Proper Jaffa.
No, I plan to build a tavern, so I'd want things like shelves, tables, chairs, tankards. Can't think of anything else. But things like that. That's what I want.
I'm definitely more looking for futuristic, kind of sci-fi things, either like cyberpunk or like space travel, PlanetSide 2-y kind of stuff. Things that glow, things that look like they're holograms or stuff like that. Various futuristic looking devices and doodads and tools and such, and panels and screens and all sorts of things.
Very cool. Trendane?
So I was just trying to figure out how you would do that. Specifically making a hologram. You take just the outer skin, you make them translucent, you give them a volumetric light from the inside. Yeah. I don't know. Anyway.
That's probably how you would do it.
Whatever.
I think it'd be a particle field, but anyway.
Probably have one of those too. So they have little bits of themselves coming up.
Just like spinning around.
That ghost looks like a hologram. It's a hologram, you dip.
Very small rocks. Churches. Exactly. Grape gravy.
Did you say grape gravy?
Yeah.
I believe we call that wine. It's just a wine reduction, is what. I wish Locke was here for that. Anyway, so what kind of props? When I was thinking about it, and they were talking about people wanting to, most people wanting to build in an EverQuest style. All I could picture was people making buildings and ruins and stuff like that. And it seems like there's, as a writer, I also think about pushing things, further than like the boring stuff that you never see. What happened to our stream?
Did it go down again?
Well, it's loading video right now. Okay, yeah. It just bounced. That's all.
Weird. Twitch is on its kind of crack tonight or something.
It's
must be popular.
Well, you know what I'll bet it is? I'll bet there's a bunch of people, because there's also a message at the bottom that says Elder Scrolls Online is not cleared for broadcasting. There's probably a ton of people trying to get just a few seconds onto their stream. Their Twitch is probably going, no!
Shooting all the streams down.
Screwing everything up. Anyway, one of the things that never really gets...
Oh, no.
Trendane, we lost you.
God, what where did you lose me? Do I have to start over again?
Yeah, that was weird. I thought you were doing it as a bit, but then you just kept doing it. That was so weird.
So what I was saying is that one of the things that never gets covered in like stories and movies and whatnot, because it's honestly kind of boring, is these long periods, these gaps of nothing happening in adventures, where you're traveling from the tavern that you all met in to this dungeon of wherever, what the hell kind of thing, and there's just like a week of traveling on the road. And for me, the props that I would want is things that you would see in a camp, because as a writer, yeah, or just like instead of having a tankard, you're having a travel mug or a backpack or a tent, if it's like a yurt style, because they were talking about taking a piece of fabric and making a sail. And I was like, okay, so could you do that and make a tent?
Well, yours would be good.
Yeah. I mean, depending on, what part of, I haven't played EverQuest, but I think there were different different styles of building depending on where in the world you are, right?
Right.
Like, I know with Vanguard, the tiger guys come from a very desert region. It's a very kind of almost Arabic, Persian-looking, building style and whatnot, and metal weapons, motif and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So, I would like to see props that because they're going to be very different from what you use in a town, and I think that would be my thing. Plus, I love camping, so I would want that to be, yeah. There you go.
I want to see fiddly bits.
Fiddly bits?
Yeah, I want to see little things, trinkets and cogs and small stuff. Lots of small things that could be used as sort of detritus that's around your house. Like if you built your house, and it's one thing to build to have a table, and there's one thing to have, maybe a couch or something like that Dave Georgeson showed in his thing. But I want to see little things that are around your house, like Trendane, you're saying, like I want to see a coffee mug, or I want to see a spoon, things like that are sort of around your house anyway, and they could sort of help build the ambiance in the building that you have. That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for fiddly bits, little trinkety things that go around the house.
Are we all pulling out our spoons today or something?
Yeah,
I don't have a spoon. I have a fork.
Why a spoon? It hurts more, you twit.
Because it's so, you twit, it'll hurt more.
Yes, indeed.
Trendane's ready. He's got the whole cutlery set there.
I have, again, it's a camping thing. I keep a set. Plus, I like this particular fork.
Mm-hmm.
This is longer than the other forks that are in the drawer. There are 2 long forks in the drawer here, and I have one of them so that it's mine. I as soon as I finish eating, I wash all my silverware and I bring it back to my desk.
Very good.
Mine.
Some crazy
like
roommates.
Lucky fork or something.
Yeah, as they were saying in the chat, chess set. Yes, I'd love to see a chess set, but I'd like to. If you want to go the spacey routine motif, I'd like to see a 3D chess set. That'd be fun to play too.
Yeah.
Especially if you could have games you could sit down and play with somebody in the game would be fun.
A game within a game.
A game within a game. It's total meta.
So go ahead.
I don't know if it's something they're going to be looking to do initially, but maybe 3, 4, 5 years down the road, actually having that level of modability that people can use whatever scripting language or some interface or whatever, maybe designing it in Lua or something, and actually be able to make interactable games in Landmark. And if the game's good enough, it could, or relevant enough, it could even be translated into Next itself.
Mm-hmm.
But down the road, definitely not, anytime soon. There's so much other stuff that needs to go in first.
All right, so that was the new roundtable response. What was the new question? It was how would you like to build stuff?
Yes,
right? In groups, solo.
That.
Yeah. I was looking it up. It's like,
sorry about that, guys. I should have given you a heads up. But anyway,
with my hands, I don't know.
So, at first I would have said solo, and I'm just gonna go out there and I'm gonna build everything and just crank it away. But then, last couple of weeks I've been playing a lot of Rust, and in Rust, if you're playing on a PvP server, it's just really good idea to have somebody watching your back. Now, that's not necessarily an issue in EverQuest Next Landmark, of course. But we have been working together to build house and to gather the resources and put the things down. It's much, much quicker to have a group. Especially if you can be talking on Skype or TeamSpeak or whatever and say, hey, I'd like you to build a little alcove over in that spot, and they can do that, and you can all work together. So I think it's kind of cool. What are you guys thinking?
I'm thinking along the same lines. You're going to start solo because you want to learn how to play, right? And then after a while, you're going to want to go into bigger groups, make bigger projects, and then bigger and bigger. And then there was really large groups there, you get 50 people on and just build something massive, like a real community thing. And that's probably something I would want to do at some point, but definitely to start solo, because I want to learn how to play.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I'm thinking.
All right, Mr. Legendary Neurotoxin, what do you think?
I'm definitely going to be covering the entire spectrum. There will be solo things, especially things that I'm planning to actually have go into EverQuest Next itself, because trying to split the responsibility and monetization, all that stuff. That's a lot of paperwork, and they really don't even have the system worked out for shared credit right now, so that just wouldn't work. But for larger things like the that one secret document that I'll be probably talking a little bit more about maybe next week. But community projects where I get a bunch of people together working on a similar modular design that can then be put together in a whole. That's more of the sort of thing that I'm looking to do later on, is getting just awesome, massive, monumental things that are getting hundreds of people's own effort and expression into one unified, finished piece. So covering the entire spectrum is definitely, interesting to me.
Told you I was in a big hurry tonight, everybody. I forgot to plug in my headphones, so people are saying, let's go. Give me 1 second. This should fix the echo, everybody. Sorry. Okay.
All right.
Wasn't bothering me. I couldn't hear it. For me, I'm kind of with I guess both of you. I mean, the more options you give the player, the better off it's going to be. So the full spectrum is great. The thing, one of the things that you mentioned, Tobran, where the hell are you? You're up there. It was you're on Locke's toilet, right? Yeah. The having multiple people working together is awesome, and something that Sergeant Stock has mentioned in the chat is build with Legos. The thing about building with Legos is that they're all pretty much the same. With the tools that we have access to in Landmark, we can make some really different pieces. And the only thing I'm not saying I should be worried about, but when you're building together with a group, you have to make sure that you have all learned to build in the same way. Otherwise, you're going to be working on this thing, and you're going to tell him, make an alco over there. You're going to bring it to him. They're going to like, that doesn't match at all. Right. So you get to learn each other's styles, but that has nothing to do with the game itself. That's the individual builders.
Yeah.
So and there's some amount of prep work that can help with that. Like if you already have an established aesthetic, like use these prefab archways for the archways, use these prefab windows, and that sort of stuff. People can get a clue from that for other things if they want to make their own items to fit the style and the aesthetic. So there's definitely ways to do it. It's really, the amount of prep work. And I bet people who have got, experience making environments in like movies and video games are going to have a real upper edge in that sort of stuff and be able to make some real awesome stuff with the help of others.
Sounds good. I'm just, I'm sorry I'm listening, but there's some technical issues going on in the chat.
I was just going to say, if people start giving you crap, you kick them.
Yeah. Boot them right out of here.
Don't you hesitate, girl.
No, some people are typing and it's echoing. It's like writing 2 or 3 times. So that's the echo. I guess people didn't hear the echo coming from my speakers, which is nice. That's why I got this really fancy microphone. It was supposed to block a lot of that crap. All right, so Trending, did you say what you were thinking? Sorry.
I think I did, yeah.
Okay, good. All right, so that's pretty much it for the roundtable wrap-up there. Let's see what else we got.
That's actually a good comparison, Stock, because somebody builds with Duplo and somebody else builds with Lego.
Yeah. That's a good idea. All right, so the new building tools. I'm going to go ahead and show the video in the background, and we'll talk about it.
All right, okay.
So we're watching. Go ahead and play. We're watching 2 of the developers build, and they're showing us some of the new, more advanced tools that have been developed since they started. And it's actually pretty cool looking what you can do with some of these tools. One of the neat parts I like is, if you guys have ever, like even if you build in Minecraft or whatever, sometimes you can't tell how far they're going to go down on the surface, if they're going to be on the surface, above the surface. But with this, they have like a little dashed line that they're showing that you can see when it goes under the ground, which I think is pretty cool. That's what they're showing right now. Because somebody in chat was asking, could I dig a hole and build something underground? And yes, you can. You could dig out a huge cavern and make it into a fancy place for you.
I like the little, when you finish making, little, effect explosion of them.
Does it?
Completely unnecessary, but very, very cool.
I'll have to watch and see if I see the little thing there.
Yeah, I really like the types of features that they're starting to add. Definitely having that mirror tool, along with all the other, stretch and scale and, rotate and all of that stuff. Pretty much anything I'd expect to see in a normal 3D modeling or sculpting tool, if it's going to be in here, it's, really going to make things a lot easier and a lot more, really more comfortable for people who are used to that sort of thing. And for folks that aren't, just give a lot more tools that they'll be able to learn over time and be able to maximize.
Is anybody feeling, though, that some of the tools, right there, the archways that they're showing, and you guys, you're a little bit behind, but some of the archways, they're thicker than other ones, and it seems to be, I saw them show the grid where you could snap to the grid, but it seems like some of the freehand stuff is a little bit wonky looking, and like the edges of some of the buildings have this sort of, like when they just showed the sort of triangular edge, it has like a step pattern on it, and it's kind of
yeah.
They need to do a little work with maybe some of the features of the smoothing tool, I think, because a lot of that smoothing ends up making everything look rough and a little wonky sometimes, like it's pressed out of clay rather than actually stone carved. So there might be some things they need to do to adjust that and to be able to make the arches better. But the other thing is the actual process and tools available. If I was going to make an archway, I would probably start by extruding a rectangular section out of it, and then having like an elongated cylinder that I cut out the circular part of the arch with. That's the same width as the rectangular section I extruded out, so that way it'll make a much more perfect looking archway, and it'll be nice clean 90 degrees at the edges. If I want to add a bevel on that later, or any other embellishments, it'll be a lot easier because it isn't weird and wavy from the smoothing process. But again, everything's
sorry to interrupt, Bob.
Go ahead.
I've just noticed something. You can actually copy props as well. I've noticed there is lanterns hanging on that, and they were on the other side as well.
That's that's a good catch.
Yeah.
Cool that they're making a half pipe here. Go ahead.
Sorry.
Anyway, what was I going to say? Basically, that a little bit of work is still going to be going into, or a lot of work is probably still going to be going to all of these tools. So, me saying these things now, in 3 to 6 months, it's going to be dynamically different looking. There will probably be a lot of tools and sliders, and being able to change the threshold for different features of the smoothing tool, so it will be able to smooth with a lot more specificity. But what we're seeing right now, the arches do look a little uneven and wonky because just the procedure they're using right now, it looks like that because that's how the tools are.
Yeah. Now let me explain something. I'm not saying this is crap. This is actually some of the best tools I've ever seen for a player to use in a video game. I'm not beating it up at all. I'm just saying, there's some spots I've noticed, but we have a new person in the audience, or new to EverQuest Next, Sergeant Stakas, who's been hanging out with me while I'm doing DayZ, said that, oh my God, if you have tools like this in this game, imagine what you could have for other games. But that's some of the reasons that people are so excited about EverQuest Next and Landmark specifically. This is what this particular thing is we're looking at now. Is because the tool set that they're giving to the players for free is just amazing. You pretty much anything you can think of to build and design, you can do. And even though this is sort of fantasy right now, that's what we were talking about earlier, that you could do a motif that's more sci-fi or whatever. So sorry, you guys both didn't get a chance to talk. I just wanted to hop in there and say that. Trendane, did you want to say anything about it?
Okay, so I was watching him when he's making the ramp thing. You should totally make an EverQuest Next skate park
yeah,
kind of thing.
Hell yeah.
I was like, oh my God, you can totally do a pressure flip and a 3/4 ollie. I don't know, that's all the skating terminology I know. It's just,
well, ollie was right. The other stuff I'm not so sure.
Well, pressure flip is when you push down and you make the board flip underneath you and you land. I know that just because I watched a YouTube video on it, but that's the extent of my. Anyway, no, there was something else, and I forgot what it was. And,
that's okay. How about you, Tobran? Trendane, you think about it when Tobran's chatting with. What do you think, Tobran?
There's so much about this video that I'm like, I would like to see this video again when it's in a better state.
Really?
There are just
Is something bothering you?
Michigan.
Mainly it's the paint tool. I'm being honest. It's on the screen right here. And it's like you can change the surface, the whole like area of any object. The amount of people that will just glide over the top of something to save material will be ridiculous. Something will look like it's made out of diamond.
But is the paint tool preset to be like 3 meters deep or something like that?
I don't know. They said you can change the shape.
Can you clarify that a little bit there, Domino? I don't know if you can. How deep does the paint tool go on its own? Because say like you have a rare mineral and you go out and mine some kind of like obsidian or whatever this rare mineral is, and then you come back and you're painting the side of the house. You just kind of wanted to paint it over on the surface, but then then you end up painting the entire house with this all the way through. That's going to cause some issues, I think.
Yeah. Was the paint tool specific to a brush size? Because if that's the case, then it's just how
every brush is like changeable, and you can change the size and the shape as well. So.
Yeah, it's that might be something that's still in development too, and we're just seeing some part of the feature that works, but it's not finalized yet. So that might be something. I would imagine it would be brush context specific, because otherwise, how's it knowing how much of what to replace with what? So that. But then the other thing with that is, I almost feel like there might be some shady dealings going on. People trying to build something and sell it on Player Studio with solid, whatever norite, walls or whatever, but it's only paper thin, and then it's just like crap dirt inside. So when Iron Golem comes rampaging through, he somehow gets through the norite, and then crap dirt, and then your stuff is destroyed.
But see, that's the strategy that goes with it. Is the Iron Golem comes along and he punches, and it just disintegrates, and it confuses him so much he leaves.
All right, so Petapod says if you use a brush that is 1 voxel deep, you paint only 1 voxel layer.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay, so that clarifies that.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right. Well, this is like really encouraging stuff. I'm so glad they put this video up. It just went up today, guys. So if you haven't seen it, you can watch it with them explaining everything and without us talking over the top of it there.
And what for us right now is them building the angles and corners and stuff. This is probably Sony's attempt to teach you words like ziggurat. If you don't know what one of those is, you can actually make one.
I love ziggurats.
Yes, they're very cool.
Yeah, I had one once. All right. Okay, so Penapod says, so yeah, you can build a cheapo castle out of dirt and cover it with gold leaf if you want. So that's the problem. I'm guessing that the Player Studio you'll be able to rate people's stuff and be like, this castle is made of cow dung with gold leaf.
I don't know if cow dung is going to be a collectible voxel.
Oh, it will be now.
Yes.
I guess so. Omid, get on it. Where is Omid? I haven't seen him in chat.
He's at CES right now.
Oh, yeah. That doesn't mean he couldn't be here. Oh, well.
He's probably not at CES. What he's doing is you have foiled his plan. He had come up with the idea to make one of these big, castle things, not to mention to sell, big statues of himself that look like they're covered with norite, but they're actually just cow dung. And he was fashioning his beard just so he could no one will ever suspect me, kind of thing. And now we've just shot that whole idea down. So he's hiding out now.
Okay, so Penapod says, you can see in the video when Eric cuts into the ground that he painted the bricks, he was painting only to go down as far as the size of the brush he was using. So, very cool. And Omid is in a meeting.
Sure. Yeah.
Dastardly guy.
That's what they're calling it now?
Yep.
Okay.
All right, so before we go on to the Q&A time, which is coming right up, there's some news that maybe some of you don't know in the audience. They're going to have a big Sony get-together. What's the date, guys? January
31st.
January 31st. And that will be the official launch of Alpha.
Official.
I guess I should have had some trumpets or something like that. It's sort of like we're all waiting for this date. So, well, there we go, guys. So Alpha starts on January 31st.
Oh, Morgard. Omid loves to build poop castles.
I just saw that. I was like, oh.
I bet he does.
That's
like the lowest level of stuff. Oh, poop voxels are not confirmed in Landmark. Oh.
Thank the gods for that.
Doesn't mean next won't have them. Doesn't mean next proper won't have them.
Just says they're not confirmed. It doesn't say they're not in there.
Well, she says chest hair voxels are definitely not confirmed.
Chest hairs are a prop anyway.
Yeah, we need to have chest hairs, Pentapod, if we're going to build a golden statue to Omid. Pentapod's cracking her whip now. But anyway, so yeah, big exciting stuff, everybody. If you are a landmark trailblazer, you can jump in on January 31st and start playing and digging holes like the rest of us.
Yay.
Or for those of us who are not builders, just go out and start just gathering resources like mad and bringing them back to the people who do want to build.
That's a good idea. You start your own business.
Because as you start painting and you're suddenly like, oh my god, all of my bricks are gone. It's like, here, I brought you an entire bucket full of them. It's like, thank you. How did you get that here? I was carrying lava in my mouth.
Are we going to be, or a bucket? Are we going to be selling this stuff on the Player Studio? They haven't confirmed like an auction house. So if you are going out and gathering poop voxels and you want to sell them, where will you sell them?
I don't have to. I make my own.
Well, you can collect them from the sheep that you have. Oh, possibly sooner than the 31st. But for right now, the party is happening on the 31st, and that's the date they said that we will let her rip.
You're going to party like it's 1999.
1999. All right.
Yeah.
Well, I guess it's time for Q&A time. Q&A time. All right, so let's get started with the Q&A. I guess I can ask him tonight, and I'll throw them at you guys. All right.
Oh, yay.
This question is for Tobran. Are you ready?
Okay, bring it on.
You're ready? Here we go.
Pumped.
Jaffa.
Yes.
That was a statement. That
Yes.
was a question.
That was me
But the
saying
answer is yes.
you must eat a Jaffa and try to answer this question. Go. All right. Now that we are going to have several level, you can't make noise when I'm reading the Jaffa or the thing.
See, you can't even.
Now that we're going to have several levels on the ground, what are your thoughts on having underground starting areas that are really deep down? Perhaps at some point, really awesome Neriac can be built in a server event, or perhaps the old palace can be rediscovered and settled. EQ needs an Underdark, in my opinion. Go. Tobran.
Tobran, yeah.
All right, if you don't, I have an opinion on it. If you don't,
I haven't played EverQuest 1, so I can't really answer things
All right,
about
let me tell you.
I've watched you.
I'll talk about it because Neriac is my bane of existence. For those
you're not biased at all.
Not at all. I love the dark elves, not the night elves. I said it that one time accidentally. I love the dark elves, the drow, whatever you want to call them. And I thought, you know what? I used to play one back in the old days. I'm going to start a new character up and play Project 1999. So I went in and I got in the starting area of Neriac, and I was streaming it live, right? And I hadn't done it because I thought I'd just do it in front of the audience. Why not? And I started off, and a good hour and 45 minutes later, I had not got out of Neriac yet.
Now you know how they feel.
Yeah.
Because I think they got out of Kinos like twice. And then they couldn't find any trees, so they realized, maybe the tree's in the town. Did you guys ever find that damn tree?
Yeah. Watch the videos, all right?
I watched like a couple and then got busy doing, stuff.
Living your life.
Well,
and
I wasn't going to say that.
So and eventually you just kill a guard, you attack a guard, and he'll send you out without all your equipment, of course. So now you're starting as a newbie with no weapon in the newbie starting zone, trying to fight spiders, which just sucks. Anyway, so if they're going to rebuild those underground places, they need clear exits marked on the sides that tell you exactly which way to go, so you can get the hell out of these places.
Exiled? Go this way.
Yes. So yeah, if they're going to do that, I would like. But yes, I would love to see some underground stuff. And if you know the lore, I believe it was after you guys can correct me, especially Reese. You probably know this one right off the top of your head. There was after the second big fight with the High Elves. The town before the spires exploded and covered there was an entire city that was buried under a mile of rock. Do you remember what it was called? Maybe somebody in the audience remembers. Anyway, I think they did that on purpose. So what?
Just, my brain immediately jumped to The City of Nod. No, wait, that was from another fiction novel. Oh!
Anyway, so
going to hell.
That I think they're going to bring that in so that that they already knew at that point they were going to have underground stuff before they even started to work on Landmark. I think that's why that part got put into the story, so that there will be underground layers and things. So nobody's said what it's called yet. Penapod says, my first moment in EQ1 was also create Wood Elf plummet to death. Yeah, I tried that one too, and you started off on these platforms that were 1,000 miles up into the air in Fadeware, right? And you misstepped because it didn't have very good handrails, and there you fall. And then you had to try to figure out how you're going to get back to your body. It was good stuff, fun times. We were hardcore gamers in those days. All right, so now are you ready? Are you ready, Tobran? I'm going to throw another one at you.
Yay. Yes.
Okay, this is from Topographic. Will there be house pet props in EQ2? They have dogs, cats, and PCs.
Bill, they have them in EverQuest too. They're
Thank you.
Kind of fun. Yeah, definitely. I feel like I can see them going to EverQuest.
I have a monkey.
A minky.
I have a little.
I have this like half eagle, half man thing. I'm not actually sure what it's called.
Manbird?
Yeah, I'm not joking. I will find a screenshot and I will link you it.
Manbird, huh?
I also have a carnivorous plant named Chutch, and I have a little whirligig copter thing that flies around my house.
Do you have a Roomba?
No, I haven't seen a Roomba in EverQuest 2 yet.
That would be good. That's a prop we want. Go ahead and talk about it there, Penapod. See if you can get it put in. Roomba.
I do. I mean, I have a Roomba here at my house.
Do you really?
Hector. But yeah.
I'm kind of jealous. I always wanted a Roomba.
Well, he's kind of dying. He's very.
He's a little bit. Skynet hasn't talked to him in enough time.
No, it's been a long, long while.
Okay. So, next question is for Mr. Trendane. Do you think Player Studio will ever open to countries other than the U.S., such as UK, Canada, etc.? Maybe SUE could allow us to start selling immediately, leaving the balance online, or have option to take money in station cash until the tax implications for our countries are worked out. What are your thoughts?
Yes.
Excellent. Next question.
Within the year. I want to do it within the year.
Within the year. So what's going on is, for those in the audience might not know what we're talking about, you will be able to build things in EverQuest Next Landmark, and you'll be able to sell them on the Player Studio, meaning if you make some amazing castle out of cow dung covered in gold leaf, and you want to sell it, you can on the Player Studio, and you can sell it for real money, because you'll be able to take that money out. So you sell it for $10 real, you'll be able to take that money out, and I think Sony takes a bit of a cut, and then they send the rest to PayPal. So what they're asking is, will you be able to do that sort of thing in other countries? So elaborate, Trendane, other than just yes? Or is that just your answer?
That was my. Do you think they'll do this? Yes, I think they'll do
yes,
this.
Yes, they will. Okay. Fair enough. Very nice. Moving on. So our next question is from Topographic. This one's for Mr. Reese. Cool prop. Working train. Don't know if that's really a question.
That's not actually a question. Cool prop people. I mean, I put in chat like giant Rube Goldberg machines. That's what I want to see. Like all the tools and props and stuff in order to make those, because that could be a real good showpiece for EverQuest Next Landmark. Is just having this giant monstrosity of Acclaim-sized Rube Goldberg machine, perfectly timed up, just like clinking away, the little balls going down the little spirals and the things, and then it brews a potion, and the goblin drinks the potion, and it melts, and the melts through the grate, and it activates a pressure plate or whatever.
Not just a cool, like a floor show kind of thing. That could be a lock to a dungeon door. You have to get this exact size stone, or this exact thing. That who the hell knows where it is? You got to get it from another dungeon, and then you've got to get this exact size log and put it right there. And if it's the wrong size, it doesn't swing far enough. I mean, you got to get some serious voxel physics going in there. But I mean, if you don't have every piece, you're not going to get into that dungeon. And good luck picking the lock, because even gnomes aren't small enough to fit into that little tiny hole.
That does sound fun, actually. I'd like to see that. All right, this question, I guess, is for me. So this one's from Chaos Lord. Asks, what about them implementing a voice chat option like DayZ? They will. They did talk about this in the, and maybe you didn't know this, Chaos Lord, which is okay. They talked about this in the SOE Live way back when. Yes, Trendane's giving you permission to not know this. But it will have a proximity vocal chat. So as you're standing there and you're talking character to character, your voice is nice and loud if you're within a couple feet of each other. Other people around you can hear your conversation, just like in real life. And as you walk out of the distance of them, you can still hear them, but they start fading away into the distance. So they did say that that's coming, and that's in PlanetSide 2, right, Reese?
Yeah, the proximal voice chat, though, I think it still needs a bit of fine-tuning with all the audio on PlanetSide 2, because you're still hearing bullets that should be pretty muffled from, like, long far away, sounding like they're 50 meters away.
And it isn't quite working 100% in DayZ either. Like, there's sometimes some zombies, I hear them attacking me, and there are no zombies around. And so either they're under the ground chasing me, or they're just a mile away attacking somebody else, but I can hear them right next to me as I'm... So it's not perfect.
I like that as like a crazy paranoia factor, though.
Oh, it is. Yeah, you immediately spin around. You're like, wait, I heard a zombie. It's right there, and it's not. So yeah, so it'll be kind of cool. Okay, next question for Mr. Trendane. Are you on it, or you're passing it off to Mr. Tobran? Tobran.
I thought he was next.
I'm just going random around the room here.
Okay, whatever.
All right. They've said there is a buffer zone around your plot. If you have multiple claims, you can unite them so you have a larger plot without a buffer zone around each individual plot.
Buffer zone?
Yeah, I guess what they're saying is, okay, so if I have a plot and you have a plot, we can't, like, butt them right up next to each other. Because and then I could build this big, huge wall all the way around your plot, you wouldn't be able to even get into it.
Right, okay.
So there's going to be space, at least, a certain number of meters or miles or whatever between the plots.
Nothing's set in stone right now. That's pretty much what I've gathered from everything I've read about the subject, that there's going to be claims, there'll be potentially ways to scale the claims or have larger areas of claim, and the space in between, it's kind of necessary to have that, so that way people will still have places they can go mining and harvesting and stuff. So it's going to be kind of the balancing act, and I think it's going to be like either per server or per like large region of the server basis, so that way you can't just have an entire continent that's just covered in concrete and nothing else, and there's nothing you can do there, because that would just be a waste of space. Of course, there's also things that spaces like that, if nobody accesses it, it'll degrade over time and it'll just revert to the natural landscape. But that stuff is it's still in flux right now, as far as I'm aware. We'll hopefully get more information about that closer towards the end of the month when the alpha starts getting rolling.
Okay. All right, so this one's for Tobran.
Yay.
Thoughts about guild-owned plans, blueprints, etc.?
Yeah. Like, if you're working as a big group, like it was asked in the question, you're all going to want to be able to share all this, so yes. Simple as that.
That also kind of ties in a little bit. They do something similar in EVE, where corporations will have, a bank of blueprints that you can, kind of pull out of the bank, or the blah, 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 corporation vault. And
are we going to be finding blueprints like you do in Rust?
I think they've said that. I'm pretty sure they said that at one point, that you can find blueprints. Yeah,
you're finding blueprints. That's right. Okay. So if you want to build, a castle, or maybe props, are they going to be blueprints for props, or are they blueprints for buildings?
I don't know if blueprints for props. I mean, if it's a big prop, maybe. I mean, it's like a table or a door or something like that, possibly. But like something small, like forks and dishware and expensive china and girlfriends or something. No, there shouldn't be blueprints for those.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure that would be specifically
Dwarven. Yeah, they make girlfriends like that. Oh, sorry.
No, crafting related blueprints, like anything that you require, some amount of materials and maybe some amount of some skill in order to craft, is the stuff that you'd be seeing blueprints for. And I do like the idea of shared blueprints. I also, and this is going back to the old document about the multiple guilds and group organizations having a like a trade union or something, or crafting union, where you have your pool of blueprints and everything, and everybody who's skilled enough to work on it, even if you aren't skilled enough to, you can either commission or otherwise have the people that are there, like either available online, or even maybe potentially people who are logged off there, able to actually craft that item, basically with your materials, and having you overseeing it.
Mm-hmm.
Sort of like having a master blacksmith leaving, little pertinent notes on the thing saying, don't put, too much coal into the smelter, or otherwise you will vaporize all of your tin.
Yeah. It would be cool, actually, if the recipes you found had sort of a handwritten look to them, That would be kind of neat. Like, instead of it just being a picture of a wagon wheel, it actually had some sort of like scribbling and some runes or something like that, and like notes. With finding blueprints specifically to that, it would also be neat if those aspects of that kind of became a quest as well. You find like a part of a blueprint, and then you have to go out and find the other part, and complete the thing and bring it all together. And that's where you'd need, and that's where you would really need one of your fellow coalition, blacksmith guys to sit there and say, no, these two don't go together, and then, you need one of them to put the thing together, because if you don't understand how the blueprints work, then you're not. You're going to build something that is half table and half beach ball, and it's just not going to
work. I want that half beach ball.
Depends on which half is beach ball, because if the beach ball half is on the bottom, it'll never stay upright. And if it's on the top and you put your beer down to it, boing, off it goes.
I think I just take an inflatable table.
Yeah.
Let's see. A question here is for Locke, which is not here.
I'll take that one.
You want to take that one for PvP?
Sure, why not?
All right. Sadly, Locke is not here. Should PvP be open world, not meaning free for all, or be secluded into special areas and instances?
Open world.
You'd like open world PvP?
As long as the option to not do it is there.
Okay.
I mean, I have no problem. I enjoy PvP when I get to choose when it happens and when it doesn't.
Right. Like
that's
if you're
one of the things.
DayZ, you're going to kill other people.
Battlegrounds is a really good idea. I mean, even though that is isolated to a specific thing, it doesn't have to be. Like in WoW, I could set myself PvP whenever I wanted to, and then turn it off, and then there's a 5-minute buffer for the deactivation thing. I mean, I like PvP. I just have to be in the right mood for it.
Right, yeah.
But to kind of sequester it off, while it does give those who want to do PvP the option to do it, it makes them do it over there. If you want to fight over here and you can't do it, give people the option to set themselves PvP engageable and let them go about their daily business.
So we're just dropping the whole idea of server types. No PvP,
I would
RP.
say so.
Okay. All right.
Maybe an RP server, just because otherwise you're going to have people griefing people who are trying to do RP.
Yeah. And we used to do the RP stuff. I liked RP stuff, and we did a couple of weddings in game, and we did a funeral for a friend in game. And some of the saddest things I've ever seen actually on YouTube were, and people thought it was funny, were when people were trying to have a funeral for a friend.
I've seen that.
And all these guys charged in and just killed everybody. And while I think that's cute in some sort of way, it actually was really disrespectful. So I guess you're right. Maybe an RP server would be a good idea.
Well, if you're going to say, like, there are going to be every other server and then RP servers, that splits the community directly in half. Some are going to go RP, some are going to go normal. And normal can consist of some servers being more PvP orientated and some being more PvE orientated. So what I personally, I've said this several times, is like, have every server to be normal as first. But as when the community splits up and says, us group of RPers are going to go in this server, and then after a while brand it like RPs people usually go in here, brand it as RP. Okay. PvP people go in here, brand it as PvP. But at first have everything as normal.
Make it player choice.
Yes, exactly.
Effectively. Okay, I can agree with that.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Anything, Mr. Legendary Neurotoxin?
It's definitely one of those things where it depends on how the PvP flagging, PvP availability system actually works. It's one of those easy things to do in one way and then have servers do it in a different way, and maybe you'll please everyone, maybe you don't. but at the same time, there's a lot of nuance and different features to it. Like I could see if there's features where guilds can declare war on other guilds, even if you don't flag yourself as PvP or whatever, you're still going to be a viable target from them. So if you're going out and grouping with people that aren't part of your guild, and people from that rival guild come along and attack you, well, you're going to try to defend yourself or something, and if your buddies try to help you, now they're being flagged for PvP, and then everybody's going to get steamrolled. So that's one of those things where I feel like how the implementation goes is potentially going to be one of the biggest determining factors of how that's actually all going to work.
Mm-hmm.
Malice says you could make a PvP character at creation or PvE character at creation. There was a couple games that were like that. That wasn't me. I can't remember the name of it though. What was the game that was like that in the beginning? You chose whether you wanted a PvE character or a PvP character. If you picked PvE, it was normal progression, but if you picked PvP, it would start out at level whatever, max level. Forget what it was. Oh, Guild Wars 1. Guild Wars 1 was that's right.
I remember Lord of the Rings Online. I don't know if they still have it, but they had a system where you could get up to a certain point, and then you could play as the enemies, as like the evil creatures. They would start at level 1, but you'd have to kind of level them up on their own. And from what I remember, the player characters were just overwhelmingly powerful, so it wasn't really any fun. But that was definitely something where you aren't actually playing as yourself. You're actually assuming the role of a creature, of an enemy, and basically trying to play as a smarter enemy. Now, that was like an isolated battlefield, if I remember correctly, but having something like that actually in the open world could be really awesome. It could be a really fun feature. Also, that could be really appealing for hardcore mode players, is like, play as a monster, fight until you're killed by heroes, respawn with a new character, try again.
That would be fun. There's one, I forget one game, there's another game, I play so many damn games. There's another game where you start off as a human fighting zombies, and when you're killed, you're all humans, and then when you die, you come back as a zombie, and you start fighting.
Was that Left 4 Dead?
Is it Left 4 Dead you do that?
I think
yeah,
it was
you're
the
right.
First Left 4 Dead.
Yeah, Left 4 Dead. So that's a kind of a neat little trick.
There was an Alien series game that had something like that too.
You came back as like an alien?
Yeah, I think so.
That I can see where that would be pretty cool. That like if speaking specifically of aliens, it's like you get the face hugger on you, and then the chest burster becomes your next character, and you go. That would be kind of cool. But oh damn it, what were we talking about? I just spiraled myself off into a thing. What were we just talking about?
PvP.
I have no idea.
Yeah, I know what we're talking about.
We were talking Left 4 Dead, where if you come back as something else.
Almost got it. Almost right before that.
I don't know. We're getting old, Trendane.
We were talking. Do we want to just go on to the next question?
Yeah. We spent a lot of time on that one.
Maybe,
that was a really short
it'll
question.
come back.
All right. So this one's for Mr. Legendary Neurotoxin. Related to what you're saying, when someone buys something on Player Studio, are you only buying the template or the template plus all the materials?
And that's a good question. I'm wagering that it's going to be the template plus the materials, but I could be wrong about that. And the reason why I'm pretty sure it's the template plus the materials is so that way what you see in the image, what you see in the fly-through of the product or whatever is what you get, in full. Now, there might be limitations, like if I make a diamond castle, it's going to be, 2,000 station cash, no matter how big or small it is, or maybe there's going to be limitations that I can only make a diamond castle of a certain size and sell it on Player Studio before I have to chop it up or do some other movie magic to make it work. No way of really saying right now, but I'm pretty sure it would start you off with the materials that actually come with it, just so that way it actually continues the aesthetic from what you had previously seen. And if you're trying to actually put something into a place that matches a certain aesthetic, having to put it down but have it fill in with snow voxels even though you're in a city wouldn't really work. It wouldn't look right or anything.
Zubai, real quick, Zubai just asked, so it's true Alpha will start on before the 31st. Didn't you guys get an email?
I got an email.
Yeah. It came in an email, Zubai. So I was just thinking for a second, oh my god, maybe I gave away some information I wasn't supposed to.
I was going to say they kind of announced it on Twitter.
It was on Twitter. It's on Facebook and everything. Okay. Whew. I didn't want to get in trouble.
Trust me, I had that brief moment of panic too, right when you said it. I was like, wait,
Yeah, and sometimes some of the devs actually do give us some inside information we're not allowed to talk about. So sometimes I got to be double quick that I'm not.
Like that one thing that they told us about?
Yeah, that one thing. Oh my god,
that was so cool.
It is going to be so awesome. You guys are going to crap gold bricks covered in poop
in poop that you can then build statues of.
I will meet to.
No, his evil twin, Demo, was that his name?
Demo, yeah.
So, Pentapod just said no official date for Alpha has been announced yet.
Oh.
So this is really just the event.
We have
this
like a time scale. That's what we're
is that right? I'm sorry. I misread the email then.
It could be before the 31st when the Alpha actually starts, or it could be, a week or two later when they're actually ready to bring all of us, crazy monkeys in.
So slow my roll. I apologize about that.
But the fact that it's not definitive means it still could be sooner, not later.
It could be sooner. Yeah, actually, I'm kind of glad that it isn't the 31st because it could come next week, So
no official date confirmed.
No official date confirmed. Back the track up. So beep, 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 beep. Okay. Redacted. I'm sorry, that was redacted. So
Pentapod is just shutting down everyone.
Yeah, she's like, no, that is wrong. No, that is wrong. No, you're wrong. She's saying that to all the people, saying, I could have sworn it said that. So, okay, it's wrong. Okay, so back to the real stuff, I guess.
We need to have a scene from
Porky's.
No, it was Close Encounters of the Third Kind, where Richard Dreyfuss is like, I'm wrong, okay? I'm wrong, Roy. We just need that clip up there. I wish I could just generate these things as fast as they come into my head. 50
years we'll have that technology.
Do we have, is it the one where he's messing around with the potatoes?
No, it's he's playing around with his trains. He's trying to teach his son fractions, and the kid is in the crib in the back banging the doll on the edge. Yes. Tell me, you are close to death. That scene, God, I know that too well.
Yeah. and so Miles says, Geekdomo causing trouble across the internet. Nerds all cried out in one voice and were silenced, then got angry. Yeah, I'm probably gonna get death threats now, Pentapod. Thanks a lot.
Perfect.
The Facebook page says, quote, the event was featured hands-on demo, a local server, but Founders Pack purchasers will be first into Alpha. More information about Alpha dates to come. Okay. Redacted. Okay. So a question for Tobran. Are we going to have the ability, are we going to have the able to easily refine our claims regardless of where we are in the world? That's a good question because, oh my God, playing like Rust, playing Minecraft, you lose your house. And one of the first things I ever did in Minecraft after I lost my house was build a tower like 1,000 feet high with torches on top so I could always find my house again.
It depends if we have like a mini map or a compass or something like that. I doubt there'd be a big beacon saying, your house is here, come back.
Maybe they have like a flag in your inventory, you double click it and it brings you back to your claim. Something like that.
That'd be cool.
Maybe.
Or Hearthstone.
Probably. I don't know. I don't enjoy systems like that because that just kind of encourages the whole fast travel thing and making things easy to get to. Because if you've fallen down a big hole and you found this whole area, and you're like, nah, I don't want to be here, back to the claim. It's like, no, you should go off and explore. You found something cool, go do that. It's, yeah.
Yeah.
But being able to find your way back would be useful as long as it's not something, you have to do. If it's like on your minimap or something, or a compass, there's not a big beacon that says, you live here. I don't really want something like that. I just want something a bit more subtle.
Teleport impossible. No satellite link available. What? No.
Yeah, I could definitely see making a case one way or another for a fast travel back to a claim, or at least to like your major claim, and then all of your other ones you still have to travel to from there. So if you have more than one, you still have to do the trek. The way I had talked about this in the past, and it still seems like the easiest solution is just build a gigantic whatever put torches or lights or whatever all over it, have it just going all the way up into the sky. So no matter how far away you are, so long as it's within render distance, you can see the damn thing and you know where your house is. Of course, everyone else knows where your house is, but they can't really do anything on your claim, so it's not really a big deal.
Yep.
But that's going back to like old school when all you had was a map, no compass, and you're trying to get from point A to point B. Giant structures were usually the things that were established to help people get from one area to another.
I'm sorry, everybody. I'm sorry.
Okay. Let's move on. You've apologized.
I know, but they won't stop talking about it in chat.
Ignore them. I do. Oh, shit. I shouldn't have.
Wait. Founders Pack players get to play Alpha first. So the thing that we're seeing on the 31st, is it Alpha or is it tech test pre-demo, not Alpha?
I think I was going off of the 31st thing because of something I saw Smedley write, so maybe that's where I got that from.
Smedley?
Yeah, like he
Where
knows
is
anything. I don't know. He's never in our chat. All right. Question for Tobran.
Okay.
Didn't he just answer the last one?
He did, but this one's specifically...
Oh, okay.
Oh, right. Okay, here we go.
Question from Senshi44. Tobran, you know you can talk to NPC using the H button right in EQ1 and find out what people need. Also, are you aware you can con thing to see how hard they are using the C button when you target something?
I'm aware of that after we finish filming. So, every week, I go on the Project 99 video and everyone's like, you need to do this, you need to do that. And I'm just like, yeah, we can't really do anything about that now, sorry. And everyone keeps saying it, but yes, we know now. And you'll find out how we know later. Teaser.
Okay, next question would be for Trendane. Would you like to see mobs with the ability spell like Charm, where you could turn on your allies for a period of time and start beating on them? Remember the Evil Eyes in EQ1, which you don't know this, but Evil Eyes in EQ1 turning you into their pets?
Yes.
You would like to see that. You would like to see, I'm sorry guys, I'm just standing here setting you on fire. It's not my fault.
It happens there's a dungeon in WoW where the exact same thing happens. You wind up getting taken over and you turn on your friends.
Mm-hmm.
It is an awesome section of the fight because suddenly all your friends have to beat the living crap out of you, and I'm like, because the other thing was when Wrath of the Lich King came out. I'm going to keep comparing it to WoW because it's
fine.
It's fine now. But when it was coming out, everybody was turning into zombies, and there was just this zombie plague was taking over everything. I loved getting turned into zombies because I was great at it. I would just go around and just bite you, and as soon as people would be like, oh crap, he knows what he's doing, everybody kill him, and then there would just be this huge group of people that would all come gathering around me, and I'm like, detonate, got you all. I'm off to resurrected somewhere else. I'm like, okay, now I'll just hide, and then they find me and they bite me and I turn into a zombie and then they go, Yes, I would love to see that. I think that would be fun.
That would be good. Yeah, I'm up for that too. All right.
Just so long as players can do the same to creatures.
Okay. That would be interesting. I guess you can. I mean, with like a charm spell that the priest had or something, mind control, whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, so next question is from Afixis. We'll give this one to Mr. Legendary Neurotoxin. In the future of Landmark, what do you think about attaching voxels to our characters?
Voxels don't really have the kind of resolution that belongs on characters. I could see using it for some things, like maybe a special ability where, diamond stuff is exuded across the surface of the character, but really I don't know if voxels are the best solution for model-related things, or if that's the sort of thing that is more done on the prop level, or even more specific than that. It could be nice. I mean, being able to use features of voxels and particle effect on the character would really be lovely to have, especially for people that are trying to make like DIY, RoboCop or whatever, and they're just trying to cover the thing in chrome plates or whatever to make it look more big and badass. But whatever it would be, I think voxels voxels would maybe be like a short-term prototyping solution, but ultimately something like that, I figure someone would have to make in a 3D modeling program outside of Landmark, or otherwise, if a prop making tool is built into Landmark, to use that.
Alrighty. I think so. I mean, we did talk about that. If you made some cool sword and you wanted to put some spikes on it or something, that you could do that with some sort of voxel thing. But voxels aren't small enough. Is for basically what we've learned from the videos and stuff.
Now, to be able to make, take voxels and apply it to just a free-floating skeleton and make just a random creature out of voxels, that's a little bit different. Someone said voxel Voltron in chat. That's kind of what I was thinking of. Well, that could be done, and have the just two, dirt creatures go and rock 'em, sock 'em, and see who's got enough legs and torso standing to actually look like there's something standing by the end.
Okay.
Could be fun.
All right. This is a long one here. I guess I'll take this one because it's about DAOC, and I'm a big DAOC player. So, all right. Dalen75 says, question about different types of pets. In Dark Ages of Camelot, they had some really unique pets that acted differently. There was a pet that you cast live that can live for 30 seconds. That was like one target spell in which you could cast multiple against targets. There was a pet class that you could conjure several skeletons that follow you around, and they did all different things too. Why is this so rare in MMO's sense? It seems like all we get for pets these days are one pet that fights for you, and diversity is a dead thing. Bring back those really different pets in EQN, please. What do you do?
Play Torchlight 2. Play Torchlight 2. All of the pets are so different and diverse in that game. Not just the ones you start the game with, but the different types of summonable things, your skeletons, your, shadowling things, all the different types of stuff, your, top tier things for every different class. That game is a good one to look at for, how the modern use of differentiation between different types of pet creatures and summonable creatures.
I just got this image. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh,
That's hot. Good.
No, but yeah, that's one of the biggest complaints I've had in years, because I'm a pet class player. And even though I didn't really play a pet class in Dark Ages of Camelot, funny enough, I did in EverQuest 1, though, and I played a Necro, and I loved having my skeleton following around, and I loved finding bone chips and turning them into skeletons. I thought there was just, something cool about that whole mechanic. And ever since then, any game that has a Necro, the Necro just didn't perform the same way that those Necros did, and it's always bugged the crap out of me that you had some really cool features and stuff that you could do with your different pets. So I'm hoping that they do that. I hope that the pets in this game just basically aren't just different class hunters. Like, in WoW you've got the hunter pets, right? But if you have a mage that has a pet, it acts just like a hunter pet. If you have a warlock, it acts just like a hunter pet, with some being a tank pet, some being a DPS pet, and that kind of thing. They're just all different classes with the same mechanic. So I'm hoping that they would have some really cool type diverse things in this game for pet classes. All right, moving on.
Well, real quick.
Do you want to go ahead, Trinity? Yeah.
Well, the other thing that I was going to say is, mentioning Torchlight, it just gave me this impression of, because one of the things you can do in Torchlight is you can load up your animals, your pets, bags, and say, go to town and sell this. And I just got this image in my head of some, necromancer out there, and he's got some, flesh zombie thing that he's just hands them all this loot, says, go to town and sell this. And everybody in town is like, oh my God! And it's like, I'm just selling. You just blow it away. Look at all the loot this thing was carrying. Like, no, that's mine.
Oh, poor Jeeves.
Yeah. Tobran's out of Jaffas, everyone. So he must now drink tequila, I guess. That's what the new rule is. He ran out of Jaffa cakes.
Speaking of which, everyone, someday, he's coming over here, and just he won't be able to drink while he's here.
Yeah, Tobran is, if I'm right about this, Tobran is heading to the party to get to play some EverQuest next.
Yep.
He's flying from Scotland all the way out to California to go to the party specifically. He's going there. And while he's there, he will not be able to drink.
Legally.
Trendane and Legendary, you both are going, right?
I'm going to try. I'm going to really try. Having sunk, aside from everything we managed to raise from our computer, I also put $400 of my own money into it. So now, and there's every possibility I will be moving soon. Plus, my father wants me to come visit next month.
It's busy time for Mr. Trendane.
Yeah, yes, it is.
But yeah, so it's gonna be cool. It'd be nice if you guys could get to meet each other.
I will try. I will try.
Yeah, I plan to put my camera and hopefully do some interviews and stuff. So it should be fun.
And everyone who visits the event, if anybody in the audience is going to the event, Pentapod included, who probably will, you must bring a offering of Jaffa cakes to Tobran.
If you really want to get on his good side, soak them in like single malt scotch or something first, and then give them to him.
I'm sure Omid will hook you up with water, says Malas. All right, so next question. Oh, hold on, I lost it here. Okay.
I haven't had one in a while.
Okay, this is for Trendane. What kind of things do you think will be unlocked from achievements? Minor props to show off achievements, or think there will be a major tool materials that are unlocked?
Sorry, one more time, I wasn't paying attention.
That's fine. What kind of things do you think will be unlocked from achievements? What major props to show off for the achievements, or think there will be major tools or materials that are unlocked?
For major props, and I presume by that we mean like the size of given props and whatnot. Anything larger than a door, I think we would probably build. And by a door, I mean like the door to his stable. I mean, for me, props are, in my mind, they're like anything that would move, doors, swing, or whatever. It's aside from. Yeah, I mean, because even banners and stuff would still be props. Anything that's voxel-based, unless it's like water or fire or something, it's going to be very, very static, in at least the way it works in my head. Right. So I think probably something like a stable door would be one of the largest props that you would be able to build. And like the smallest would be
a spoon.
Or like a coin purse or something, if you wanted to put a design on it, maybe a quill. Or something.
For achievements, I just figured it would be you've got you earn a sash, and then you can earn different colors and materials of the sash that you're wearing, and then
cool,
you can earn badges that you can sew on, and you've got your sash with its patches, and it's like, oh, look at me, I'm such a good scout.
I was just gonna say, I'm a Girl Scout. I don't know why I did that in that accent.
Okay, hold on. Chaotix says, he's trying to sort this all out here. Just so people have their facts straight about where the info comes from, 3 days ago Smed said in the PlanetSide 2 Reddit that we're in the middle of developing EverQuest's next landmark on schedule right now for the end of this month. Back on December 19th, he said Landmark Alpha was on the target for the second half of January, so I think people have the right to be a bit upset about a play event seemingly before Alpha when they paid for. Okay. Well, anyway, I thought maybe we'll let that go now. The next thing is, well, actually, I do want to say something. In World of Warcraft, you had two major things that you could show off your stuff. You had, well, actually three. You had pets, the little pets that you could run around with that were kind of rare. And then you had your armor. Armor was a big giveaway that you did something really cool. And then you had, of course, mounts. And so those kind of things I would like to see in EverQuest next, believe it or not. I would like, maybe not the glowy shoulder pads with lightning bolts coming off of them. I mean, maybe that's just a bit over the top, but something like that. That's like you earned, because it's horizontal progression, so level 1 character has the ability to have the same stuff, but maybe some rare, ultra rare quests that you have to end up doing to get these really rare items would be cool. So, all right, moving on. This one be for Mr. LegendaryNeurotoxin. When it comes to crafting like armor, props, weapons, and all of that, would you like to see the ability to put Maker's Mark on them? For example, initials or some kind of scribble or something.
I thought you meant the whiskey. Sorry. I was like, yeah!
Yeah, Maker's Mark.
So, before I answer that, yeah, there was Around the World in 80 Plates, I think it was, from the show Portlandia, where you can get it jacked, which was just having them pour a shot of Jack Daniels on your food. Maker's Mark, yes. All right, now actually getting to the question. Yeah, I think it would be really nice to be able to have some sort of feature to put not just a text identifier when you highlight the item and see, made by so and so, but actually having a physical identifier, like maybe one plate right here is red, and that is the way that that it was made by some certain person, or maybe it is actually a some decals or some little ribbon or something that's tied to it somewhere. But yeah, I think that would be awesome. I think that'd be a great way to add extra personality into the game.
I mean, even WoW had it where if you bought a piece of crafted equipment, it would always say made by so-and-so.
Mm-hmm. Now, to kind of point back towards the question that was asked a little bit ago about, would it just be the blueprint, or would it include the materials necessary to make it? Now, if you purchase something that somebody made, and it had kind of their digital signature on it, so that when you mouse over it, you'd get the little, rich text pop up that would say, made by so and so. But if you had the option in the Player Studio to purchase just the schematic and not the materials that go with it, or the schematic and the materials, I mean, if you have to build it yourself, but you're using somebody else's schematic, is it going to then, if it's like a little logo or something that kind of gets stamped onto the corner of a block or something, would that still be applicable and appropriate?
That's a good question.
I don't know. The more that I think about it, though, I'm realizing with the amount of control the user has over the aesthetics of the equipment they're using, it might be an optional thing for them whether they even want to display that extra flair from the creator or not. So that could be another part of it too. Is just where there's even a place for it, or if it's just something that the person says, oh yeah, and if you're wearing this armor, put this little ribbon on it here. Always be wearing the ribbon, damn it.
We're bordering on the legal aspects of transformative works.
Yeah.
Oh God.
And that's all copyright law crap. Yeah, somebody was saying, there's a question just popped up, and the reason I was even showing that while we were talking about this was they were saying, were you going to be able to fly? They've already discussed it today in that video somebody might not have seen yet. You cannot fly anywhere but your plot. So you can't just fly all over the world. It's basically your plot. You're allowed to fly up and around and do things like you can build like you can in Minecraft creative mode, but you can't fly the rest of the place.
And you have to unlock flying, which is something I think is kind of weird, because that means it means people are going to start by learning something that isn't the best practice and having to get good with that before they can use the best practice. Right. So you have to waste your materials and time and effort making the platforms and the scaffolding just to get to do the thing you want to do, rather than just being able to get in and build freely and not have any limitations. Some people said, well, yeah, maybe it'll only take a day or less to unlock, but some people aren't going to go out and explore. They're just going to grab up a bunch of dirt, get the first claim they can and just start going with it.
That's pretty much what I'm doing.
And there's a good chance that someone who isn't coming into it with a lot of knowledge and background, they're just going to be doing it a real, crappy way. And when they learn, oh my God, you mean I could have been flying this whole time? The wasted hours and materials. Yeah, I don't really want to have that sort of thing. You should just have flying from the beginning.
Yeah, especially if it's limited to your own plot, or I would presume somebody else's plot, because if you go over to a friend to help them build something and you can't fly there, I think you should have the ability to set, okay, anybody who's in building mode can fly, or whatever. But yeah, to limit it to your own plot and then make it to where you can't do it right off the bat, it makes no sense to me.
Yep. Same.
Or it makes very little sense to me.
All right, this question is for Trendane, and it's a little bit longer since we've had what we were talking about here. But Chaos Lord says, Trendane, would that be a beach table?
No.
Okay. So this next one here is for Mr. Tobran.
Okay.
Our last name is important. Have they said when we can set that?
Not that I know of. Are they guessing like the station handles? I'm guessing.
No, not the station handle. This is.
There was that video where Terry was talking about that though, where that you have your blob dot station name whatever that'll be separate from that, like all of your characters will have.
Yeah.
That's I don't think he said that, but
McGrumplenuts is a great last name.
It is a great last name.
I'm taking that. Don't anybody take Mr. Grumplenuts.
I just don't remember Terry ever saying that.
No, probably not.
I think that would stick in my mind.
Yeah.
Oh, and the announcement, the Facebook announcement about the little shindig at the end of the month.
Yeah.
He's much kinder. They're not staring into the sun in that picture.
They're staring at Jesus.
They're all looking at the camera. The sun is kind of off up over there, but I don't see Omid anywhere in that photograph.
He is. There's a bush over to the left.
He's a bush.
Yeah, Omid is a master shapeshifter. I don't know if you knew this.
Oh, I see the bush. Yeah, that's totally him.
It's him. That's Omid. He's got a ghillie suit on. You can't tell. So he's good. He's good like that. All right. So next question is for Mr. Legendary Neurotoxin. Why not do the fast travel flag, but usable once a day in game time? So not really a shortcut, more of a crap I got stuck in this hole button.
Honestly, if you get crap stuck in a hole, I figure just use the unstuck feature to get out. I mean, if we're talking like a cavern you didn't mean to go in, but you did, that's different than like, getting stuck in a place where you just physically can't jump or climb out. But I mean, I guess in the context of if you go somewhere you really didn't want to go, it's fine if you can do the fast travel once a day, but if it's something that people can constantly do, it's going to make it so much less dangerous to collect materials. Like, it's something that I was doing a lot in Terraria my first time playing. I'd go all the way down into hell. I'd mine up as much stuff as I possibly could, and when I had 20 little demon things, use that magic mirror, get the hell out of there, and make whatever I'm going to make with that material and go back down. So that would be a really easy exploitable feature, and I think that would kind of detract from the gameplay.
I see what you're saying.
Was the question about having it once per in-game day? Was that what okay, because that is a very different thing from using it once
20 minutes or something, right?
Right, yeah, that's I think faster than the refresh on WoW.
Yeah.
So that the only way, I mean, I would counter that if they insisted on having that. I would counter it by saying that it is a ritual that you have to perform, and it takes a minute, like a full minute, to be able to do this, because that'll shave off the the abusing it to get out of hairy situations. That it is something that is channeled for an extremely long period of time and can be interrupted. Would be the trade-off for it if you were going to make it usable that often.
Oh, that's right. I forgot I banned Omid last week from the chat, so that's why he's not here this week.
That's right. 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago, yeah, we banned Omid from the chat.
So last year.
I remember that.
Yeah,
that was
last year. Everybody, it was last year. It was a long time ago. All right. Next question. This one, I guess. This is from Neuro anyway. I was going to give it to me. Your Flesh Corruptor class concept discussed use as a potential NPC exclusive. Do you feel that this adds anything of value to the game, or should mobs be composed of the same classes available to players?
Well, it adds a great deal of value to the game, not only because if it isn't available to players and it's only available to NPCs, that means all of the rules and all the limitations and complications with like the living armor creation and brewing the potion and all of that stuff, it's not actually going to have to be built out in full because the creatures don't actually have to go through all of those steps. So it could actually be entered limited as a NPC thing first, and then maybe over time it could actually come as a full player feature. But it doesn't actually have to be for players, because also the nature of it, these weird freaky tentacle lashing abominations that spew nasty corrosive acid when they drink this foul stuff. Yeah, that's something that really screams like evil, though in the document I do explain that isn't really the origin of it, and that's a big half the document or more. The use for creatures also has another feature that is, as a player, you're only going to start if you're being taught by a grandmaster, versus if you're a creature, you might have just come across some of the recipes, some of the knowledge, some of the information. You saw somebody do something, you're like, oh, I'm going to try that. So the creatures might not necessarily know and understand how to control it. So one or two of them might actually have success when they drink the thing and try to have it, improve their armor. But at the same time, they might also drink the corrupting elixir and just explode and just die. because they don't know how to control it and they didn't know what they were doing when they were brewing it. So it's just volatile death.
All right, so real quick, we have a couple of questions in chat here. Locke and Omid being absent from the cast at the same time. Also, Pentapod said he was in a meeting, but it is possible he's sneaking up behind you to stab you for banning him. So that's why I keep looking around. Because he is a master shapeshifter, he could be my camera lens over there.
You know, everyone's after you this week, you know?
Yeah, well, just because I'm paranoid doesn't mean people aren't out to get to me.
That's right.
He could run at full speed at you as a cheetah because he's a shapeshifter, and then turn into a knife in midair, and then
and
stab you. He will literally stab you as a knife.
Trendane, are you making those into audiobooks?
Am I making what into audiobooks?
Oh, that's a question.
Oh, me transforming into cheetahs? Yes, I could do that, but it would wind up turning into furry porn, and you don't want that. It's just, it would not be.
Nothing wrong with furry porn.
Yes, there is. Yes, there is. I've written.
Oh, look,
some
it's
of
coming
it.
out of Tobran's nose. That iron rod that he's drinking is going to come right out of his nose.
Brew.
Iron Ram.
Iron Brew, get it right. Come on.
Yeah, Iron Bro.
I thought it was
coming out of his
brew.
Iron Brew.
Iron Brew.
It's because what he sounds like when he's really drunk. Iron Brew.
Iron Brew.
I was going to say, I can't imagine. I'm just picturing him getting really, really drunk, and his accent getting so thick that even I can't understand him.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's just. What the hell are you drinking? What?
Oh, the lore. Are you turning the lore into an audiobook? I don't know if are you legally allowed to do that?
What lore?
Well, the lore that's coming out in the book form.
Oh, on like the okay.
Yeah.
No,
I don't think you legally can do that, right?
I can't sell it. I could narrate it if I wanted to and post it somewhere, but I can't. I can't charge for my performance.
Yeah, Iron Brew is made from girders.
Yes.
It's girders!
I was going to say you really have to roll that R. Girder.
Girders! I was more thinking Charlton Heston and Soylent Green.
Oh.
It's people! It's people! All right. Well, we've really gone off track now. I guess this question can be for me. Do we have an idea how far our cameras can go out? Because I ask because in a building, I have to run into issues where my view is blocked by a wall or something. I'm not able to play something correctly. Oh, yeah, absolutely. I hope the camera's easily spin aroundable, but let me go ahead and open up that tools video again. You could see them moving that camera, and it's pretty far out. So I'm guessing the camera is maneuverable enough to where it'll get you out of a tight spot if you're trying to tuck something into a corner somewhere. Should be able to move it. I mean, it's a pretty smooth-looking camera, if you ask me.
Sorry, go ahead.
I would wager that there's going to be multiple camera settings, like character-centric or like just based on the center point of the claim, or you can have like a specific thing, or if there's things that are selectable, like you've got a prop selected, the camera will be moving kind of centric to that. But there's different ways, and this is once again coming out of like 3D modeling and such, where having access to the different cameras in those different ways really makes it easier to do exactly what you want to do very precisely. So that's something that I'm hoping we're going to have a lot of control with, being able to zoom it way far out, bring it really close in, actually change if you want to have a fisheye or you want to have it really narrow. Being able to change all of that sort of stuff would be great.
Okay, so we have a question here from Trendane, for Trendane.
We actually already covered that.
Right, and we already covered it, so never mind. Next question from Sanchi44. This one's open to the room. Whoever wants to answer this one. In EQN, would you like to see a blind spell in-game? For example, light crawlers or paladin flash from EQ1, where it would turn your screen black for a duration of time.
I really want to do a whole video on this, like talking about all the different features you could do if we were allowed to, distort the actual view of our monitors. Like, let's say you could get blinded in combat. You are screwed drunk. Then. You can get drunk in EverQuest 2. That's a really awesome feature. Your whole screen goes wobbly. Yeah. Exactly. It's like really cool features, and I want to see more of that in more games. So
when you've been playing for a long time, like say you spend 8 hours and you're on the game, and then you do something like get drunk, it sort of distorts reality for you. You start looking around and going, oh my god, you can't look at the monitor anymore because you've just been looking at that thing for so long.
Exactly. So I definitely see things like if we can do that in spells and stuff, it'd be really cool. And maybe like invert people's controls and stuff as well. Like you're walking forwards, nope, walking backwards. It's like randomly jumping and stuff. That'd be so much fun. Of course, it couldn't be for too long, you know.
Yeah. That would probably also only be applicable in PvP.
What kind of drink is Iron Brew? Because apparently you can get it on Amazon for $60.
It's orange.
Soda.
It's
soda.
It's just a normal fizzy drink. That's all it is.
It's fizzy bubbly.
It's pop.
Yes.
Okay.
Pop. It's not alcohol.
Canervan says, I have a 465 alcohol tolerance in EQ2 and I can no longer get drunk. Well, that's your own fault.
Reroll.
You killed,
That's cancer.
That is a horrible state to
you
be.
killed your liver.
I think I need to make you a stronger potion.
You have a wooden leg, or two of them, or a whole wooden lower half.
See, that's how the flesh corrupt their sketch. Oh, you can't get drunk anymore? Here, drink this. It's like
The ultimate drunk.
every time.
All right. Can I paint as in making a work of art on my wall in Landmark? By the way, I had to mute the stream because hubby wants to watch TV. I guess that's from Maka.
Yeah, that was from Maka. That was from Chaos Lord. No, that'd be pretty funny.
That would be.
Paint. Well, if it's 1 by 1 by 1, we're talking for voxel sizing. You're basically going to be able to make glorified pixel art for sure.
Yeah. If you made a big, huge, solid wall, you could like pixel by pixel draw it as 1 inch pixels.
Because with the 1 by 1 by 1, I don't know if there's deformation within that. Like, does 1 by 1 by 1 mean that's just the smallest proportion, and then it can be rounded on the edges or deformed in other ways from there? Because that would determine whether you can really do like smooth voxel painting or not.
See, I would think that, well, within the framework of the question, I would like, is it possible to import a photo or something, and then all you have to do is make the frame, and then just put the thing. Then you got people who are going to be importing some very not appropriate pictures, but people are probably going to be building penises.
Towers of penis
everywhere,
the vagina caves and stuff like that.
Trying not to think about that, but okay.
Yeah, that'll keep Trendane out. If anybody wants to keep Trendane out of your house,
George Okies.
Yeah, give it a George.
That's exactly right.
Tobran's losing the Iron Brew out of his nose.
Yeah.
Once again. So Tobran, you didn't even talk about your new beard.
It's not exactly new. It's like for the past
6 months. I know it's taken you to get that far.
Yeah, I know. I think it's been the past 3 into the portals. I've just kept it.
Well, keep it going because you got a long ways to go to catch
see
up
how
to
far
Lock.
it goes.
Yeah, don't stop.
What if I just shave Lock instead?
You could shave Lock and then tape it on your face, but just watch that show, The Vikings, and then you'll never want to not have a beard again in your life.
Okay.
You ever seen it?
No.
It's a good show, and you Scottish people have a lot to owe to the Vikings. Okay, so next question, Trendane, are you making those audiobooks?
Didn't we just talk about that?
Yeah.
I mean,
we can skip that one.
I would love to get paid to do that. That is my answer to the yes. Mead, I would love to get
Mead,
paid.
you really need to have these put into an audiobook format, and Trendane will be your official reader.
I would love to do that. I think that would be fantastic because it would be really, really nice to have some piece of voice acting stuff that I'm doing pay. Because right now, nothing I'm working on is producing any money right now. I'm like, God. Yeah, I know.
Maybe I should have you...
go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, Arundel says, my bad. I meant real day. Okay. And yes, a full minute casting time, not to get out of trouble button, but if you remember the golem smashing you down a level, what if that happened and now you're at a level and your level 1 pick won't mine? Okay. They did talk about that too, where if you you dug a big hole and you went AFK and now the earth closed up around you, you would be able to get out even if your pick was broke. That's what they said. So I'm guessing that you can do that.
There might be ways where you find some of the material that's around that you can dig up, and you just make yourself a ramp out, basically, or some stairs out or something. And it's not glamorous, but I can definitely also see situations where you could actually be full on stuck in that area, and that would make a case for having some sort of ability to get out, or otherwise, looking into the /unstuck system to see how it would actually work to be able to get a player out of that area, but just like bring them to the surface of where they are at, and that's it.
I actually have a solution for that.
Okay.
You just type /Chuck Norris and just punch your way out of whatever.
With your beard.
Yes.
Beard fist.
Beard fist.
Well, I'm screwed then.
Okay. Yeah, well, you'll get there.
No, it's a beard fist, not
a beard face.
Yeah.
Okay, last question, everybody.
Ooh.
All right. So
Good
this
time.
is Top Queered. Top Queered. Did I just say that?
Wow. Top
Geared. Why did it look like a Q to me?
Ask the question, will you get the new SOE All Access Pass?
No, because I don't live in America.
So the new SOE All Access Pass, pretty much they're taking all of the gold membership status and all of the things from all the different games, and they're just making it $115 a month, or £9 11 was it, Tobran?
Yes.
So that's
real world money.
And what do we get for our $15 a month? Because it's a free-to-play game.
Basically, it's not just one game. All of the games are covered by just the one subscription. So if you play a bunch of different games, you'll get all of the premium access in all of them.
Yeah.
So that's one of the really nice things. And you also even get PlanetSide 1 access, which is still the only subscription-based game in their portfolio right now, which is weird, but
yeah, it's strange.
so that's what it's going to be. And they were playing with the system to give you 2,000 station cash, basically that you could not have in your wallet, but every game you could get a 2,000 station cash item every month. But people complained for some reason.
So
it seemed like an awesome deal,
I know,
especially
right?
because they were considering putting bundles in there too. So I don't know. Change is a good thing, unless people are gonna say it's fearful and hate it. But I don't get it.
Neurotoxin, how much did you say that thing cost?
Which thing?
You said $115 a month.
That's okay. That's what I thought I heard.
It's $15 a month.
Okay, which is what I heard you say, Delmo, and I was like, wait a minute, there's a bit of a difference between $115 a month and $15 a month.
$115 a month is a cell phone bill, jeez.
I was like, that had better come with some physical goods. They better start sending me maquettes of,
little maquettes of every one of the characters.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess that's it. That's 2 hours, right? We're a couple shy of a couple minutes, but good enough. Let's go around the room and tell everybody about our channels and where they can find us and all that. Tobran, do you want to go first?
Oh, I get to go first.
Yeah. Well, you're up in lock spot. He usually goes first.
All right. Okay. I have a YouTube channel, youtube.com/TobranLinks, where you can find EQN Talk, a weekly show I do running up all the news in the community and the news and stuff. I can't remember. Not having a good day.
It's all that Iron Brew.
It probably is.
It is.
It even has a warning on it. Wait, what's it say?
Don't drink too much, you will eat Jaffa cakes.
Yeah, may have an adverse effect on activity and attention in children. So
you're a child, that's what you're saying.
It means it has lots of caffeine.
Lots of caffeine and lots of sugar. So, yeah, be
So
warned.
you won't be going to bed anytime soon. Gotcha.
I haven't trained to get like 5 hours as well, so. I'm also on Project 1999 with Lock, where we go through the original EverQuest and fail a lot, so you got that to look forward to. And I think that's it. Follow me on Twitter at Tobran.
Very good. Pentapod said they said lots of nice stuff about your video. What video?
That's a little vague, Spock. Who are you talking to?
We have lots of. All of us have lots of videos, and I don't know which one.
Yeah.
Okay, Legendary Neurotoxin.
Yep, I've got all sorts of stuff. The weekly concept series, I've got actually 2 since the last show. The Biomes and Biodiversity, which was last week's, and that one's covering pretty much all the features of terrain and wildlife and stuff over a widespread area and transitions from one biome to the next. And it's got a lot of in-depth details. If that's something that you're interested in, definitely check it out. It applies to both Next and Landmark, so it's kind of a double feature there. And then the one for this week is the Flesh Corruptor, which we were talking about a little bit today. And that one's pretty big. It's that first half of it is actually the basically concept for the class, how it works, what it does, what kind of techniques and abilities it has. And the second half is actually, and I didn't even count it, someone else made the mention of it, 31 paragraph story about the origin of the first flesh corruptor, which it's, I hope it's an interesting read, because I tried to make it concise, but at the same time have a lot of the relevant details in it.
Legendary Neurotoxin, you and concise do not go hand in hand. Which is a good thing. I don't mean it in a mean way.
When I'm concise, I don't say much.
Yes.
Then you don't know what I'm talking about.
That's fair enough.
So there's that, and I've been continuing to pick at here and there my blog. It's LegendaryNeurotoxin.blogspot.com. I haven't gotten back in the swing with streaming yet, but that'll probably be an announcement on the next show. So,
cool. Very nice.
Yeah.
Mr. Chendane?
Well, I have a question. Who is Felgon?
It's Eric from the video.
I know a few Erics. Which one are we talking about?
Eric the Painter.
Oh, from the video.
Yeah.
From the video. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. It's like someone on Twitter said I was handsome, and I was going to go, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I didn't know who he was. So yes, okay, correct. You're handsome. Right. My yeah. I was getting there.
Your stuff.
God.
We're both having a little bit of a senior moments tonight, there, Chendane. I got these scissors.
Okay, well, you got your scissors. I've got my hemostats. Okay, so I had to pick ticks off of something. So I am with a tick.
No, a teaspoon.
Oh, like a proper clampy chompy teaspoon, which would make a good robot hand. Anyway, I am as indicated here. I am Trendane everywhere. And I don't really do much with EverQuest because I never really played the first one. I just barely played the second one. I basically keep it patched up, and I have only just gotten to the point where I'm starting to get ready to stream, and I've got so many other projects I'm trying to catch up on, like just crazy stuff. But wait, we missed a question, and we should actually do it. New Year's resolutions.
What was my New Year's resolution?
Yeah.
Not die.
Well, that's okay. You're doing great so far.
Really good so far, yeah.
There was a point last year where you were not doing so well.
Right.
Mine is to expand my YouTube channel and stop doing just vlogs.
Yeah.
To actually put some other real content up, you know.
Well, now you have this kick-ass computer you can do this with.
Yeah. And when I move, I'll probably be in an area where... Are you
moving out? You don't like your roommates anymore?
So I'll be moving.
On the spot.
Basically kind of to the other side of the bay. We're still trying to sort out when that'll happen because finances are tight all around, and it's going to be crazy. So.
All right, so Tobran, what was your New Year's resolution?
Drink more iron. Traveling.
No more traveling, which is going to happen because you're coming all the way over to California.
Exactly. And that's it. I keep up my YouTube.
And you're also going to Vegas too.
Yeah, exactly. See,
you're doing lots of traveling this year.
I've even been traveling today, so
good on you. All right, Reese, what about you?
Beat Shadowrun for Genesis with no cheats. Done. Easy.
Already?
2 days. 2 days. I was done on the second. Love that game.
You're saying.
Other than that, like Chinese New Year, I would probably do something. Jewish New Year, probably do something. I do like 3 New Years a year, so it's whatever when one of them comes around.
Exactly. Trendane Panapod says Trendane, Eric is stealing your affections away from Terry Gaspin. You said it's hard to beat Terry. How do you mean that?
To which Pentapod replied with, "It's easy to beat Terry." No, wait. Sorry, it wasn't Pentapod that said it. It was Cyril said that it's easy to beat Terry. He's not that big. To which I am in the process of typing, "Don't tease me like that. Don't tell me that he's a small guy because I really like, guys that are a little bit smaller than me. Just never mind why. I was about to tell you, and this is not Tuesday. So
this is a new goal for Felgon. Felgon, take me away.
I was just going to say I was trying not to say, but thank you for doing that and making it so I don't have to. Does the chat have to tell us what its channel is, and the portal have to tell us what its channel is, or can we just leave them out of it?
The portal's channel is EverQuest next on YouTube. EverQuest Next Landmark on YouTube is the Portal channel, and the chat is EQ Nexus on Twitch. So everybody if you're here for the first time and you want to watch our show every week, please make sure you follow this channel here on Twitch, because every time we go live, you get notified that we are live. So yeah. That's it. Oh, me. So yeah. I'm Geekdomo everywhere. I'm right now in the middle of doing a 30 days of DayZ, where I'm playing DayZ every day for 30 days. Of course, that's what kind of the title hinted at. And I'm trying we're going to do it like this, and then at the end of, like in 6 months, we're going to do it again. But I'm going to do another game next, I think it's over in the middle of next week, and then we're going to start up maybe doing Rust. Maybe not 30 days of Rust. And then as soon as I am able, we're going to do 30 days of Landmark, but that's when I get my NDA lifted. So that'll be a while from now.
So we've already, I mean, Omid already told us that we have special dispensation to just show our Landmark phase.
Yeah, we can.
So you could secretly, since you can't show the game anyway, just tell everybody that's what you're doing, and just.
I'm going to stream a video of just my face.
Oh, yeah, exactly, and it's perfect.
And you maybe be able to make it out in the reflection of my glasses, maybe, if you're really good.
You'll get tens of views.
Now, Pentapod says, I believe both Terry and Eric are smaller than you. Just saying. She's trying to be helpful.
Not being helpful.
You're not being helpful. Trendane will spend hours in the bathroom now. You know that, right? Fixing his beard because it's like a little bit bushy.
It's clearly broken.
Yeah.
Yes. Trying to make it look more like Omid's. No.
Oh, Canervin's been watching my stuff on YouTube. Thanks for watching it, guys. I do it live on Twitch, but I upload it to YouTube just so I have it there as a record of DayZ. If you guys are not familiar, some people are like, what is DayZ? DayZ is not Daisy as in a flower. It's D-A-Y with a Z as in Z. And it's a survival game that makes you about as paranoid as you can possibly get in a video game. And keeps you that way for hours. And so it just helps me to think that somebody's always trying to get me anyway. Penapot says, helpful.
Yeah, I see that. Yeah,
very helpful.
Yeah, sure.
So, very helpful.
This is not encouraging me to come down there. I'm just telling you.
Yeah. Trendane's going to show up in like a trench coat or something. All right, so
I have a really nice leather duster.
There you go. So thank you for the devs that showed up tonight. I'm sorry that Mr. Eric, you didn't get to see the whole show, but we did show your video quite a bit, and it was a really great video. It's probably one of the best videos we've seen so far as what's going on in Landmark for building. So awesome job with that. Really, really great job. And thanks, of course, Pentapod for hanging out here with us and teasing us and sorting out all the information.
Teasing us. Us. Yeah.
Well, teasing Trendane mostly. But she teased me, too, about my whole comment with the dates that I got wrong. EverQuest Next Landmark is not officially being announced for the end of January. That was my mistake. It was what I was going off of from what I saw on Reddit and Twitter and all these other places. So, for right now, just say no. All right, so that's it. We're done for this week. Locke should be back here next week, and we'll move Tobran down, and then we're trying to get Pentapod and Omid or somebody on the show with us. That's what this extra hole is down here, and we're going to get him here after a while.
Call it a port.
Well, the portal hole. The hole in the portal. The spinny, glowy purple thing at the bottom of the screen. Yeah.
Please just go.
Okay. Trendane needs some private time. Okay. Good night, guys. We will see you all very soon. See you next week. Thanks a lot for coming. Until next time, see ya.
Later, folks.
Say it, Trendane. Say it.
What? Oh, God, be careless.
Thank you. Bye-bye.